Why is food waste unregulated? Planned obsolescence. You've probably heard about food waste before. You might even think about it when you can't finish your meal. Or you may feel guilty when you find old veggies that have gone bad in the back of the fridge. In this video, we're going to look at the bigger picture of how and why food waste happens and its wider implications. We strongly recommend that you check out our first videos in the series here to give an overview. But here's a few quick facts for context. The organization Second Harvest created the report, The Avoidable Crisis of Food Waste, which provides a strong overview of the problem. In total, we lose 58% of our food in Canada. We lose so much that from the amount wasted alone in 1 year, we could feed every single Canadian for 5 months. So how have we gotten to this avoidable crisis? How can we have a food system where so much waste occurs when Canada is known both for its agricultural systems and for being environmentally friendly? Let's back up and quickly try to understand how we've gotten to this point. In a lot of ways, our food system is a vast success. Following World War II, which had extensive food rations and poverty rates, there were extensive agricultural advancements to ensure there wasn't a lack of food ever again. Over time, this led to overproduction of food, such that now there is more food produced per person than ever recorded before. However, because we have more than enough food to feed all of Canada, food is now viewed as a commodity to benefit from instead of a resource essential to human life and health. As consumers, our households continue to shift to match this new reality. Refrigerators keep getting bigger and bigger, promoting us to keep filling them up with more food than we could possibly ever eat. Our dinner plates are continuing to grow, convincing people to take bigger portion sizes than they really need. This excessive amount of food bought and stored is also largely uneaten and thrown out. We can see this very clearly if you examine where and why food waste is lost along the system. The majority of the waste occurs within the system, and with about a fifth happening in households or restaurants. It commonly occurs when food isn't sold or when there isn't an economic value for the food, so it gets thrown out. There are many reasons why this happens. Across the system, the aesthetics of food are critical, and if the food is slightly atypical in its color, shape, or size, that is reason enough for it never to get to market. This is largely attributed to an overarching phenomenon in our society called planned obsolescence. Planned obsolescence is the strategy used in all fields of our economic system, clothing, technology, and food, in which products are designed deliberately to become ineffective or out of date within a predetermined set of time. For example, when electricity was first invented, lights lasted a long time. In fact, one light bulb from 1901 is still burning. However, a common fluorescent light bulb now only lasts about 4 years. This is a classic example of how a new product has an expiry date predetermined within it. A similar thing is happening with our food system. Specifically with processed food, expiry dates err on the side of caution and are likely much earlier than the time products would actually go bad. In fact, one study analyzed the food safety of milk, pasta, mayonnaise, and jam on and after their expiry date, and found that the food was considered safe to eat up to 6 months after the expiry date if stored as per manufacturers' safe storage protocols. There are also multiple dates on food products that are not expiry dates, yet are interpreted to be by consumers. For example, best before dates don't mean that the product will no longer be edible at that date, but that the food is at its most appealing before that date, and afterwards may lose its consistency, coloring, and so on. This is different from use by date, which means that the food could potentially be unsafe to eat after that date, such as with meat and dairy. This brings us the question: why are we paying extra for food to be produced despite it being neither sold, eaten, or donated? This unnecessary financial, environmental, and social cost can be minimized by creating a system in Canada that tracks food waste and ensures unsold food is donated and consumed. Food has always served as a symbol of elitism, and its commodification has only increased that. This elitism towards food is contrasted by the fact that collectively, over 4 million Canadians do not have access to enough healthy food. As we've already discussed, we clearly have enough food to feed everyone in Canada, which indicates that we have a food distribution problem, not a food production problem. We need to understand that food is a valuable resource which should have national regulations on how to successfully produce and distribute it so that no person goes hungry and the environment remains hospitable.